Jared, as always, thanks for being with us. And kind of a frustrating day. And, you guys watch the film and you guys get a chance to really diagnose what the issues are. What was your takeaway offensively from Sunday's performance?
Yeah, I think just certainly not making the most of our opportunities. Obviously, the turnovers there hurt us. And I thought our defense did a hell of a job of keeping us in that game and giving us plenty of chances to make it happen. And, I had my part in it, and I just need to be better. Just need to take advantage of the opportunities when they're there, and find a way to. I think the season's full of ebbs and flows, and there's streaks, and find a way specifically offensively to get back on the better side of that.
The way you guys finished last year offensively and started this year offensively, what was going on most then that isn't happening now? And is it about something defenses have figured out about you guys, or what is it?
No, I don't think so. It's you always try to search for what that is, right? But the last couple games we've played where we've struggled a little bit, they've played what we expected, and we just didn't execute very well. And again, for whatever reason that is, it's the seasons and teams that win Super Bowls, teams that go to the playoffs, teams that every team goes through ebbs and flows. And I think offensively we need to find our way back onto the right side of that, and obviously do it quickly.
When you come to the sideline, and whether it's after a turnover or just simply we had to punt, and you're sitting there with Ben Johnson, and he shows you, or whomever shows you on a tablet of what was there. Is it a subtle difference, or is it something that's painfully obvious in hindsight when you see if we just didn't execute here, or I missed this guy here?
I don't know if there were many of those in Sunday's game. It was just, I guess I'm trying to think of the best way to answer that. Like, Ben and I have a really good dialogue on the sidelines, and there's never any pointing out or anything. And specifically in Sunday, I didn't feel like there was any of that as well. But yeah, I think that was a good defense, and they played well. But we had our chances to play better, and if we scored 17 points, maybe that wins the game, and maybe it's not a great offensive performance, but maybe it wins the game. So we didn't do enough to win it, and I thought our defense did plenty to keep us in it.
Can you take us through the interceptions and what happened on those plays?
Yeah, just a couple, but just not where we didn't hook up on them. It wasn't great throws. I know the receivers want to be competitive on some of those, but I wish I could put it in a different spot.
You're talking about Ben Johnson, and I was kind of bullish on Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes and Ben Johnson. Tell us about these meetings you guys have now post-game when you can look back at the last couple of weeks. What are you guys talking about? Because I want to get back to being bullish on Ben Johnson. I want to get excited about what he's doing in the offense. But do you feel like he's the guy that has the solutions in terms of the X's and O's and on the chalkboard to fix what's going on?
No doubt about it. Yeah, he's as good as I've been around and knows how to coach every position, and is extremely me and him are extremely comfortable with each other and have a great dialogue every week and in games, and it just comes down to all 11 executing, really. All 11 executing, and at times you have 10 guys doing it right and one guy doing it wrong, and that one guy can ruin a play, and it's nobody in particular. A lot of times it's me, and just making sure I'm right, and making sure that everyone's on the right page.
And I mentioned Dan Campbell. One of the things I think is Dan Campbell's strength, and you can flat out tell me if I'm wrong, but I thought his biggest strength as a head coach was his ability to get the buy-in in the locker room. I think it's a tough thing to do when you got guys that are making, $15 million a year and guys that are making $750,000 a year. How do you get everybody to buy into a team first, attitude? And I thought Mike Vrabel, I think, does a great job of that. But is that still in place with Dan Campbell at 1-5?
Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt. I think he's got a tough job, and as do a lot of us, but he's got a tough job, and I think he's done a great job of handling it. We've been through our fair share of adversity up to this point. And he's the guy who's got to stand up there and handle it every week, and I think he's been doing a great job.
Can you give us an example of something he said to the team? Is there a good example where his leadership comes through and you know that the guys in the room believe in him?
Yeah, I think after games and then on Mondays when things don't go our way, his ability to galvanize the guys and keep us believing, and it's hard, man. It's not a fun thing to go through what we're going through, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel if we continue to do things right, and by no means are we giving in or anything, but we have to figure this out quickly, and I know he's the catalyst of that, as do I try to be, and figure it out as quickly as possible.
Something that has been consistent this year, consistently good, appears to be the offensive line. And we had the big matchup with Sewell and Parsons on Sunday, and Penei Sewell did a phenomenal job on him. The Cowboys still end up with 5 sacks in the game. And in our radio broadcast, we've got a couple of offensive linemen, former players, that both pointed out that they think that maybe it looks like you're drifting a little bit too far back in the pocket instead of trusting the pocket and stepping forward. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes, I agree on Sunday for sure. Yeah, I probably did that maybe twice, where I got a little drifty on them, and I need to help them step up forward in the pocket and trust those guys. And
can you talk about Penei Sewell and how he's grown in just a year and a half in the league, and he looks like one of the better right tackles in the National Football League?
Yeah, he's been incredible, man. He's been doing a great job. I think we all knew what he was capable athletically, and but I think his leadership and who he's becoming in that locker room, and how much trust I have in him and how much trust we all have in him. But he's a guy we rely on in both the run and the pass, and does a really good job, man. He's a tremendous player and will be for a long time.
Jared, I remember earlier this year when the offense was really playing well, you made the comment, you said, look, these are long seasons. There's going to be a time where we aren't hitting on all cylinders, and we expect the defense to step up. In the last couple of weeks, the defense appears to have hopefully turned a corner. Have you obviously saw the potential in them. Do you think that they've turned a corner, hopefully permanently?
Yeah, absolutely. I think last week's practice was really good for them, and I thought that they flew around and started to have that feeling of creating turnovers and causing the ball to come out, and I thought it showed up on Sunday. I thought they did a great job on Sunday. That's a really good offense. It's a good quarterback. It's a good skill position group, and they did a good job wrangling them in, and then timely turnover. They're driving the ball all the way down to get to the goal line and create a turnover, and that's what good defenses do. And so yeah, certainly I think they're on their way.
Who in particular has stood out to you on the defensive side of the ball in practice, which we can't see?
Okudah.
Yeah.
And I think I've been kind of saying that since training camp, but he's had a good camp. I thought he had a good camp last year, and unfortunately got hurt in week 1. But I think this year's training camp, and then I'm a guy who throws against him every day and consistently shows up and does a good job.
Every opponent is going to bring different challenges. So when you guys face the Dolphins on Sunday, what challenges do the Dolphins present?
Yeah, they do a good job creating pressure and causing some chaos in the backfield. That's what they want to do, and we'll be ready. It'll be a good game, and I know their safety just got injured, but whoever steps in for them will be good. It'll be a challenge again, but we'll be ready. It'll be nice to be in front of our home fans again for the first time in a few weeks and feel their energy.
I don't know if you ever get, because obviously you guys are working a lot, but do you ever get a chance to watch the Manning cast when they do the Monday Night Football broadcast?
I do sometimes. I actually didn't tune in last night, but sometimes I will.
Who on your team do you think would do a good job in one of those scenarios?
Oh man, I think Jamal would be fun to watch. I don't know if the whole nation would enjoy that, but I would certainly enjoy it. Let me think who else. I think Frank would have some interesting takes on some things. A lot of those O-linemen are funny. He can crack me up. TJ would be funny. A lot of these guys that we talk to every day.
Great. Hey, we appreciate your time. Good luck, and go get a win on Sunday.
All right, guys. Thank you.
There's Jared Goff, Detroit Lions quarterback, here on 97.1 The Ticket.